How's everybody doing?
It's working for. My God.
You can hear us?
Yeah, it's working. First try.
Hello?
You did it.
Wow.
Connor. It finally happened.
Me putting off doing research and focusing on how I'm going to make this thing work
Fantastic.
actually paid off this time.
Good.
How are you, Jacob?
Fine.
Good. Good to hear.
How are you, Connor? Very forced, awkward conversation all of a sudden.
Not bad.
Okay, good.
I'm not too bad, no.
Good.
Just hanging out.
I have a little bit of a cough all of a sudden this morning, so
Rip. That's it for
see
Jacob.
about that, but we'll see.
I think I've made it past coronavirus. Would have liked to have had that episode out the Thursday.
Oh, we're late on like an episode, right?
Yeah. So hopefully with this one, we're going to get this one out this weekend at some point.
Yeah. Sorry, and thanks to everybody in chat. A lot of people here already. Hello.
Yeah, welcome. What's up? Oh, it just dropped too because we stopped watching on
we did.
If did anybody notice my good? Did you see my joke in the title?
What, TikTok?
S3E3 TikTok.
Yeah.
That's not misleading.
No, not at all. Okay,
It's not
so
clickbait.
today we're talking about the Tikbalang, which is more of a mythological being than an actual cryptid.
Yeah.
But like, we already did the research, so we're doing the
Yes,
episode
we
anyway. That's just happened.
Here we are.
Yeah. So, it is a tall, bony humanoid creature with the head and feet of a horse. Why is there a metronome?
It's a really good question.
Are you also recording, or
I didn't start the recording.
That's fine. No
But
big
it
deal.
is
Is what it is. Hi.
recording.
Once again today talking
fuck
about Tikbalang.
I'll just download it
My
off YouTube.
pronunciation is gonna be terrible. Doesn't matter. Okay.
Tikbalang from the
Already
Philippines.
derailed. It doesn't matter. Yes. So a tall, bony humanoid creature with the head and feet of a horse, or sometimes other animals. I saw a bird in one place, likening it to the Japanese tengu. Usually seen standing in the densest part of a forest at the base of a large tree, or some particular kind of tree that I don't want to try to pronounce the name of. Again, this is the mountains and forests of the Philippines. The name roughly translates to demon horse. There's a ton of like regional variants. I'm going to get this little bit out of the way right now. But what makes some of this and some stuff that we'll get into later so complicated is that there is allegedly, according to the internet, I've never been there, but there is apparently 7,107 islands, 81 provinces, 19 regional dialects, and 182 native languages in the Philippines.
Why do I think it's Indonesia? Kept looking at Indonesia. Not the same thing. My notes are good.
So keep that in mind, I suppose. I also saw Werehorse.
Werehorse, yeah. I can see that.
The term lanky kind of comes to mind. The limbs are like comically long, like so much so that
They're
if
Slender Man long.
no, if it squats down, its knees are above its head.
Yeah, I saw that. When it's just busting out squats, it's just like knees overhead.
Also, sometimes can take the form of a human or just become invisible altogether. Conveniently.
Yeah, convenient.
Yeah. Generally, also like sometimes under bridges, sometimes where they live, or
troll?
like, in the trees, dense parts of the forest.
Horse and mountains, yeah.
In some stories, they have like a mane of golden hairs or sharp spikes.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, if you manage to obtain 3 of the unusual hairs or the 3 thickest spines, they can be used as like a talisman to keep the Tikbalang as a servant.
Yeah.
But like you have to like get one, which seems like that would be
saw
kind of taxing. Like you know what I mean?
Well, in relation to that, like I saw like you'd have to have a specially made rope so that you could mount the Tikbalang to pull off these things, and it
Okay.
says nothing about what the rope was made out of or how it's made or whatever makes it special. Just
This is, you need a special rope. What kind of special rope?
figure that
special
out, bud.
But I mean, you have to find it without it first like finding you. That seems like that would be hard. It's big.
It is big.
It's sort of like a reverse centaur.
I saw like 10 to 15 feet and definitely reverse centaur.
Definitely reverse centaur. 10 to 15 feet tall?
Mm-hmm.
Oof, I did not see that.
And the one story that I acquired, the 10 to 15,
I kind of like
approximately.
The minotaur as well.
Yeah, I said minotaur, but with like out the bull and more.
You just swapping out like
horses.
the horse there, which I think I did just learn that is actually, I think that's the name of the island, is what they were telling me. The creature itself was called the Minotauros, I believe, technically.
Oh, but it's from the
Something,
island of
I believe is what it was. Yeah, but yeah. That was what somebody had just told me about it recently.
I don't
and
know
I
enough
looked into
about
it a
that
little
kind of
bit,
stuff.
but I am not very, very good on my Greek mythology, so.
I would like to be better at knowing Greek mythology.
I also wanted to mention like fawn.
Yeah.
Like half man, half goat, Danny DeVito and
yeah,
Hercules.
yeah. The devil, be not a pan. It's pan, isn't it?
Okay, yeah.
Pan. Pan.
Is it Pam or Pan?
Pan. There's a silent N at the end. Panum.
So there are a few variants of the creature as well as its behavior towards people, and where like one of them is more of like a forest guardian sort of creature,
Yeah.
and the other one is a lot worse.
Like a devil that's guarding the gates of hell type
so like
guy.
in the stories that come from the north, like the northern region, they just scare travelers and lead them astray, play tricks on them, commonly making the travelers return to a dead end or the same point from earlier in the trail, no matter how far they go or what route they take. Kind of just toying with people most of the time, making them imagine things, sometimes driving them mad. The southern regions tell of a more monster of the night with glowing red eyes. They believe that if angered, it stomps people to death with its hooves, and apparently it is easily angered. In these stories, it always smells of burning hair and is smoking a big-ass cigar.
I saw that too, but I also saw that there was another thing that
yes, I have some stuff on that real quick here. I'm not sure if this is a different thing altogether or like a regional variant with a different face, but there's a creature known as the Capri, which is classified as a tree giant.
I kind of thought they were part of the same mythology, and just the fact that the Tikbalang smoked a cigar was like
super similar for sure. I have let's see, the Capri is a Philippine creature with appearances of phenomenally tall, long-legged, god type of hairy humanoid that sits in big trees and smokes cigarettes, often seen waiting for people as they walk through a path. It scares away children who play at night. If you are stuck in place and you keep going around in circles, you are said to be played around by a Capri. To escape its control, you must remove your shirt/clothing and wear it inside out. Sometimes instead of smoking a cigar, it's a large ganja pipe. It's definitely necessary information. So it behaves almost exactly the same manner as this. I guess we haven't gotten into that yet, but those are the same traits as the Tikbalang.
Yeah, pretty much the exact same thing.
The way to, if you think you're being stalked by one, like just turn your shirt inside out.
Turn your shirt around.
And then you're good.
Gets confused.
But like it's like the exact same in a lot of ways, but it doesn't have
the horse
face. So is the horse face not literally the head of a horse, and maybe is like a rough translation to horse face, like to say that it is ugly?
Ugly guy.
Or maybe nobody has gotten close enough to its face to see that
it's not a horse.
Or maybe it just manifests differently. The same thing, but it just appears different for some reason. I also, unfortunately, saw in one place that it travels the night to, quote, rape female mortals who then give birth to more. Tikbalang.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah, that is definitely all I'm going to say about that, I think.
Did you get any information about it being, like, possibly a fetus?
All right, so it is sometimes believed to be a transformation of an aborted fetus, which has been sent to Earth from limbo. This was included everywhere, so I felt it would be disingenuous if I did not include it in my notes. That being said, it may have been like shitty research, but the Philippines are like riddled with just like monsters and creatures, cryptids and
all
mythological. Like there's a lot. There's a lot of languages again, like I talked about, so I get why this is confusing. But there is another entity known as Tianak. And those are babies who died before receiving baptism rites. After death, they go to a place known as Limbo, a chamber of hell, which unbaptized Dead people fall into and are transformed into evil spirits. These phantasms return into the mortal realm in the form of goblins to eat living victims. They can also be offspring of a woman and demon. It can also be an aborted fetus, which comes back to take revenge on its mother. Most are said to live in forests. If they say humans, they transform into what looks like a normal baby. When a person notices, comes near to take a look, it changes into its true form and eats its prey. So it disguises itself as a baby and then pops up and eats you.
That's weird.
Not quite the same, but again, like tying in a couple of weird ways with the same thing. It's definitely, I don't know.
Maybe you said this earlier, but I saw that it has a horse face, but I saw in a few accounts that it was like the shape of a horse face with a human face at the
fucking
end.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
I saw.
I never saw any depictions of that, but I read that in some place. I was like, oh my lord.
I saw a meme that changed my life. It was Thomas the Tank Engine, but it was like a centipede was crawling out. Like it was the face was his face, but it was just like a gray centipede. I was like, oh no.
God.
It made me so uncomfortable.
I almost did a Instagram. We're gonna go live video with the Thomas the Tank Engine with my face.
That also would have been horrifying. Okay, so Connor,
great.
I know you spent a lot of time wandering the vast forests of the Philippines.
Yeah.
So I really only included this for you, but there is something that you can do to protect yourself from the Tikbalang.
Okay.
So again, we already mentioned turning your clothes inside out.
Mm-hmm.
Also, again, protectors of the forest in most of these instances, I guess depending on where you're at, but just if you
Protecting
get
the
lost
forest.
and you feel that it is responsible, announce your presence, ask for permission to pass, or just announce that you are lost.
I am lost.
And then you're good to go.
Okay.
I declare bankruptcy. Yeah, but just I guess from there, just don't make too much noise from that point on, and like disturb it, because then it would probably get pissed at you. Again, sometimes on occasion they will ask you a riddle, and if you answer correctly, you will get a pot of gold.
Riddle me this, Tikbalang.
Okay, buddy. Yeah, so I don't know. I guess they're kind of like leprechauns, but I think if you get it wrong, they stomp you to death. So that's a little different.
All right.
So I'm
Good to know.
I'm hurting for stories, obviously, because this is more of a mythological thing than it is like a cryptozoological.
Before we get into stories, I have some safety notes of my own.
Safety notes, you say?
Safety. According to
Safety first and then
GMA
teamwork.
News Online, which, as far as I know, is Grandma News Online.
Excuse me, what was that? What was it one more time?
GMA News Online. Pretty sure it's just Grandma News Online.
Okay.
Grandma? I don't know. Anyway, they say always to have a teenager in the group when hiking through the mountains. No explanation. Just have a teenager with you.
Bait. That way you don't get eaten.
Is that it?
Yeah.
I feel like he could outrun me. I am more likely to say that I'm lost before the teenager. Is that what it is? I'm more likely to turn my shirt inside out than the teenager. I highly doubt that. That teenager came in with his shirt on backwards.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either. And then they say at the very beginning, like, always bring a flashlight so that you know it's a Tikbalang.
Safety notes, I get it.
Yeah.
How it is all becoming clear.
That's it for my safety notes.
All right, safety notes concluded.
Shirts backwards.
Let me
I'm
see.
lost.
Okay. Finding my place in my notes once again. All right, so as I mentioned, hurting for stories. Not really anything like it, but I do have this weird instance of I have a Capri story that I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
I guess I'll do that right now.
Do it. Send it.
Again, not a Tikbalang sighting, but the encounter is so similar to the purported behavior of the Tikbalang. When we were talking about this before, I just wanted to include it. So this is The Legend of Capri by Eligio.
Eligio, yeah, I know him.
Link in the description from wowparadisephilippines.com. Not too long ago, a dozen of mountain climbers climbing a mountain in a scenic Philippine province of Batangas
Batangas
became disoriented, thus losing sense of their direction. They decided to leave marks on the trails that they already passed by, only to find themselves passing by the same place over and over again, until a local man about 70 years old that lives near the mountain heard the call and helped them recite a prayer and a ritual that pays homage to respect the Capris, asking them to stop the pranks and being played on the mountain climbers. After a few minutes, the climbers went on with their downward trek and were able to make it to the right place in the lowlands again. Some witnesses report seeing a tree shaking its tree branches and leaves violently even if there is absence of strong wind. Strong and loud laughter that sends a chilling after effect in the ears of people around the vicinity of a tree that a Capri resides in are also reported. This is very
Good.
Capri resides also reported as of exhibition and excellent of this mythological creature. Again, Capri story, but it is very similar.
Yes.
So horsemen in general, I guess. I went looking for horsemen in general. You know how many of those people see? Fucking none.
None. Zero.
It isn't a thing. Did you find anything?
No.
I had one very small bit.
The only thing I could find was horsemen. I typed in horsemen. Anything. It's just people on horses.
Yep.
I saw like one video that linked me to Facebook to watch this video on Facebook of like a little girl with like obviously a costume on that made it look like she has a horse body, and then like just obvious not real sightings. It was bunk.
Excellent.
It was garbage.
Yeah, it's I kind of thought there'd be like a little bit there. There's really not. So
Nobody's ever seen one of them.
Apparently not. But I'll read you what I have here. This one is from the book Weird Illinois, Your Travel Guide to Illinois' Local Legends and Best Kept Secrets by Troy Taylor, Mark Moran, and Mark Sezerman. In May 1963, a similarly strange creature reared its ugly head in Centerville. It also was sighted just across the Mississippi in St. Louis, where several children spotted a half-man, half-woman with a half-bald head and half-head of hair. They said they had seen it lurking around 9th Street housing project and that it often disappeared in an old tunnel around 12th Street. Patrolman Bill Cornrow of the St. Louis Police Department took the sighting seriously, insisting those kids were sincere. They saw something. He added, supposedly it scuffled with a man near Patrick Henry School. The St. Louis sighting began on May 9th, but by May 18th, the beast had moved back to Centerville, where it appeared in front of the house of James McKinney. He quickly summoned the police, but never managed to catch up with what he described as half man and half horse. According to the reports, authorities received over 50 calls in a single night about the creature, but the sightings eventually dropped off. By May 23rd, the monster was apparently gone, but was it for good? Some claim that the sightings continued around Centerville until the 1980s, but were never publicized. That is the only thing I saw about that. Is a very, very brief mention of that.
In Illinois, nonetheless.
Illinois, yeah, because it was St. Louis at first, but then that was back in Illinois. So that's like on the border of Mississippi. So pretty close to us. Within 3 hours, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
I have never seen a horseman, unfortunately. Then they're going to be terrified. Because these are like... It's like the torso of a man in most of the instances, but like the head of a horse, and like the legs are kind of like a hybrid horse-human leg. But he's like
the upper body would have to be
jacked.
built. It would have
shredded.
To be. You imagine just like a fat one?
No, it's like kind of like Wendigo vibes off of some of the imagery that I'm
Definitely.
seeing. So like similar to because like the Wendigo thing was like cannibalism, right?
Correct. Yeah.
That was the legend of like, oh yeah, you eat people,
You
and then you
get
turn
visited
into
by
that.
this, or yeah.
That's how you become one. So I feel like they couldn't be fat because they're like always hungry, and again, not the same thing, but I don't know.
Similar and
Shredded, always shredded.
Yeah.
You had a little bit that you had mentioned to me. Oh, I forgot to mention this. Did you know that if it rains on a sunny day, it means that a Tikbalang is getting married, Connor?
I did know that after my research today. I did know that. Did you know that they can apparently jump to other planets?
Oh, yes, that's right. So the roots from the tree that they are commonly seen around, which I am not going to try to pronounce the name of the tree, they're like kind of like out of the ground, the roots, and that's what it goes. That's the portal to go to other places. What
Fire
what do you call them?
planets?
Is it planets or is it
to warp?
planes of existence or?
I don't know. I had planets.
Okay.
Like he could like physically jump off of our planet to another
that
planet.
was a different thing that I had not heard. Is
I
that
hadn't
why
heard the tree thing.
That's why its legs are so long?
Yeah. Forget
God.
Superman.
Okay.
Can only jump over a tall building.
So I did also see a theory in several places that since horses were not native to the region and only arrived during the Spanish colonization, the image of a half-horse, half-man creature was propagated by the conquistadors to keep the natives afraid of the night.
Some believe that theory is debunked.
Oh, yeah?
Okay. So apparently, there's a video from, I think, aswangproject.com.
What did you just
Sorry,
say to me?
A swang project.
Okay.
There'll be a link in the description. Pretty good 15-minute video on the Tikbalang. But they believe that Father Juan de Plasencia documented that the Tikbalang was already a thing when the Spanish Inquisition or Spanish invasion began in 1565. So that they believe that the Tikbalang maybe came from like Buddhist theories and beliefs, and so Lord Vishnu taken forms of different things.
So they had never seen a horse even? They had seen things from the Buddhist religion, and is that what you're telling me?
Yeah. So there's this Hayagriva. I'll pull a picture up here.
That's Buddha? This is Hindu?
Hindu, yeah, sorry. Did I say Buddhism?
I believe.
I typed Buddhism.
Yeah, it's
Hinduism. Sorry. This is the guy here.
Okay.
So they
that is definitely a
taken
horse
things like
face.
from that religion, that time period. There's some like antiques and pots and stuff found in the area dating back like to the 9th century, which was 900 years or so before the Spanish invasion. Thought it might be why they have that figure in the culture.
But that seems like such a negative connotation. Do you have any information about this?
I don't.
It's not a god, is it? What is the name of it?
He is worshipped as the god of knowledge and wisdom with the human body and a horse's head, brilliant and white in color.
So it's not like the same
connotations.
Yeah, exactly. So like I get if that's the imagery, but it does seem strange that the correlation of like
change so vastly.
This is like, oh yeah, of wisdom and all this stuff instead of like and then it just turns into
like praising him and worshiping him. And it goes from like, he's
Well, I mean, I could see how religion would turn on religion. And a different religion coming through and telling you
is it
that
possible
one's wrong
that
because that one's actually I have no idea. I
possible
don't know
that the Spaniards maybe came in like
Well, but again, this is saying that there's records of that before the Spanish Inquisition.
But they had this idea beforehand, and then the Spanish came and kind of twisted that so that it would be like they're afraid of the dark or they're afraid of going out in the forest, kind of keeping people in check by scare tactics. do not know. But I do have a
Without that
story.
though, that would be super weird. If it's just they just had like a thing that was like it looked exactly like the head of a horse.
But they've never
Just
seen a horse.
No idea what a horse is. I had heard in one place that there was like allegedly chickens that were like found trampled that looked
Stomped
like
to
it was
death,
like
yeah.
stomped to death by a horse, but there's not like again not horses. I didn't really see that anywhere except for one place.
I heard that on a podcast.
Yeah, exactly. I'm uncertain of the validity of that or whatever, but I guess I'll mention it.
It's out there. I will say.
I need to know a couple of things.
Okay.
So, listeners, you play along at home. You let me know your answer on social media
chat.
or chat right now. Connor, close your eyes real quick. Imagine
My eyes are closed. Chat.
Tikbalang.
Proof. Tikbalang.
Got it?
The name?
No. Imagine it. Look,
Imagine it.
visualize
Oh, sorry.
the Tikbalang.
Okay. You can see it.
Okay. You got it?
Yes, I'm kind of nervous.
What's the dick?
Exactly.
Is it a horse
It's a
dick
horse
or
dick.
a dude dick?
It's a horse dick.
Okay. So that on a serious note then. So,
It's the only upper torso of a man.
okay.
Below the
If
waist.
anyone sees one of these, I need you to focus up and try to see which direction the knees bend. Does it have the
Backwards?
front legs of a horse or the back legs of a horse? Because I think that would define their genitalia. Because if it's the front legs of the horse, it doesn't make sense for the dick to be the horse's dick. But if it's the back legs of a horse, it makes sense for it to be
Well, it's
the horse's
100%
dick.
back legs, dude.
How much time can I spend talking about a horse dick?
Next 5 minutes.
Okay, cool. I can probably not waste that much time, more time that I've already wasted talking about horse dick. Chat, where you at?
Chat. Horse dick, human dick.
I
Okay.
did run into some of that bullshit that I used to run into all the time, but have been fortunate enough for like all of last season not to. That was like 5 centaurs caught on camera and spotted in real life, and it was just like really poorly
Clickbaity as
photoshopped
fuck,
human
yeah.
torsos like on horses. Like again, I've mentioned this before. I do photo manipulation for a living. Like 8 hours of work in Photoshop a day for the last 7 years. Like I can spot a shitty masking job from a mile away. Don't at me. Like this shit used to annoy me, but like it makes me so mad when I'm like looking for stuff. It's like if you're
You
gonna
are
post satire, can you
inconveniencing me.
please like just like post it? Just like let me know, bro.
Like, this is a joke.
Yeah, rough.
This isn't a really good video.
Yes. Also, again, several of these things, these entities in the region, they all overlap a lot in a lot of categories. So I'm saying the Venn diagrams on these bad boys are heavily favored in the middle. Do you have anything else, Connor?
I have this story here
Oh,
from a
what the- you
teenager
said you
in the
had no stories.
Philippines. I have one story. From a teenager in the Philippines. From the, I think it's from the Aswang project again. But there's a teenager in the Philippines in Antique something. In the 1960s, I assume just from later on in the story, not knowing about Tesla. I'm not sure. So one night, they live in a hut. One night, 2 brothers are outside wrestling, fucking around. You can hear like the thudding of the boys wrestling through the hut walls. And then that night, after the boys have gone to bed, the mothers put them to bed. I think there's like 13 or 14 kids in this family, which is a fuck ton. But they're all in bed except for like this boy, the narrator of the story, and his mother. And they hear banging again, like moving from side to side of their house. It's odd. He goes like sneak out the back door to try and see what it is. The mom stops him. She's been sitting by the window and she's like, "Can't go out there. There's a Tikbalang out there." Knocking around, causing a ruckus apparently. So obviously he doesn't go out there. Goes back to bed in the morning. He wakes up to like there's a whole bunch of neighbors and stuff like checking out his house and like looking around talking. It happens to be like these massive hoof prints on either side of his house, like where the sounds were coming from. Like size of large ripe coconuts,
Like
several
round?
inches deep.
Like a horse, kind of. Okay.
Yeah,
does
like
make
jumping
sense.
around.
Like round. Yep, round.
Round. Round like a hoof. Hoof print.
Yep, I'm with you.
So
That's big
they don't have cameras at the time in their
in their hut.
tiny hut. Yeah. They don't have the means to have a camera. It's like the 1960s. They didn't even know who Tesla was or something. That's what they tied it to in the article.
Okay.
But still,
Okay.
could it have been a Tikbalang?
I don't know. I mean, that's. Where was this?
This is in the Philippines.
Oh,
in
just pretty loosely in the Philippines. Okay.
Antique. It's a province.
I don't know what the fuck I'm asking for. So, oh yes, I know exactly what it is.
Oh yes, familiar with that area.
I've studied antique for years. That was very bad. I'm sorry. So. Wait. I mean, obviously, what do you think? What is your thoughts after all of this?
Sounds like a really shit story, actually.
Is it the boogeyman that we run into every single time? I'm sure it's maybe has some sort of more important value to culture that I am not trying to brush aside or disrespect in any capacity.
It's a pretty popular story, which is weird. Like
As few stories as there are.
Right, exactly. It's kind of one of those things that sounds like it's just passed down generation by generation. Boogeyman.
There's something outside. Because, I mean, okay, cool. Like, if legitimately cool, they go outside and there is footprints from something out there. Something was there.
Yeah. Something with hooves was there, allegedly. I did happen to talk when I brought it up to you the first time about doing this topic. And I asked a coworker who is from the Philippines. He, knew what it was.
Oh, really?
She's like, oh, yeah.
Just like, odd question. I heard about this thing.
And she said it was like the boogeyman.
It's okay, so it's kind of just the
scary
same
story
thing. It's just like
you
you tell the kids, keep
Yeah.
them in at night when they hear a noise and they want to go see what it is. And you're like, no, dude, I'll eat you.
Yeah, don't go out there.
Except for I don't understand the turn your clothes inside out thing
I don't either.
to get you out of the woods. That's just
That's weird.
mythology, folklore. I don't quite follow that one.
Do not pee on, cut, or burn any tree. Apparently, that's another safety tip
Okay,
for my capre.
can't water the plants.
Can't pee. Yeah, can't pee on them.
Good for him. I suppose you probably need to, depending on the acidity of your urine.
I don't know. It's on an island. It probably gets pretty occasional rain. It'll be diluted in no time.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know how that works. Yeah, I don't know. It's just mythology, folklore. It's kind of what it seems like to me. I don't want to dismiss it, but yeah, again, if it's like the boogeyman thing,
It sounds like it is. I'm convinced. Brandy says that it might be a confusion tactic to turn your shirt around, mislead the.
I have
Tikbalang
turned
and
myself
thinking,
inside out. Fear me, demon.
Oh shit, guy's for real.
Oh god, fucking Tenacious D tribute starts playing.
I wish I had that on my soundboard.
I don't
Yeah.
think Jack Black would allow us to use that for free. As
Come
as
on,
big of a fan as I am,
Jack.
I'm assuming our platform is not big enough to have that kind of pull. No, I don't know about that one.
Gotta get Jack Black on board.
That
hey,
would
hey, Jackie,
come
come on over.
That would no, it wouldn't. There's no way.
You could do it. Please.
Literally. So, I mean, that's all we got. This is a quick one.
Yeah, for as popular as it is in the area, there's not a whole lot of story, no lot of evidence
It's just yeah. If you could find story of a horse person, send it to
Please
us,
send
please.
me a
Social media,
picture.
whatever. Just it's up.
Send me a picture.
Do it. I got nothing. I can't find a story. I'll do an addendum to this if you get enough information.
Mm-hmm.
It's rough.
It's a little disappointing, but we do have
A review.
a review. We also have another thing we have to do after the review. that we haven't done yet this season.
You?
A review.
That I already said, a review?
Jacob's going to do a review.
Let me pull this up real quick. Also, real quick, we just had our highest download number month ever.
Which is fire. Because
it's February, and it's not even Leap Day yet.
And we slacked our asses off.
We did, and we didn't have a release on Thursday when we were supposed to. So thanks, everybody, for listening. I know a couple of people who joined the Discord and, like, just made it through, like, all of the episodes in the last week from, like...
Congratulations. You
midway
get a badge.
season 2. Yeah, just, like, crushing it. So this review, 5-star from Drake_Cal. Very good. I came for the cryptids and stayed for the laughs. Hey, thank you very much. There was also another, I don't know, what do we call that other one? A review?
A comment on
It was a comment on YouTube. Yes?
I don't remember which episode it was on.
I don't know. You sent it to me, so I'm just going to scroll through our conversations here real quick. Yeah, I got it right here. So, on YouTube, James commented, I like how you guys go from whispering to nearly yelling. Yes, do more of that. Otherwise, a great show.
Last episode, when I was editing it, there were so many like things I had to adjust because we were just peaked
I'm sure. Well,
out of the mics.
The episode that he commented on was in season 1 as well.
Oh,
so,
yeah,
I'm
even
sure
worse
those ones are pretty rough. I also queried a couple of people recently to see like new listeners, like, okay, like when you came into the show, did you start at... Where'd you start? Did you listen to some new episodes and then go maybe like, yeah, I like this, and then go back to the beginning and listen through? Or did you find a new podcast and go all the way back? And they both of the people who I asked went just like found the podcast, didn't listen to anything, went back to the first episode and just went from there.
To be honest, I think that's the way to go.
I'm just worried that's why people aren't sticking around.
Fuck them.
The first episode has so many more downloads than every other. It's hilarious.
It is like twice as much as the next one.
It's 1,000 more.
But I like, personally, I like to see where a podcast goes and improves.
I kind of do as well, but I think when I do it, I kind of listen to, like, I come in and listen to something that I am already interested in listening to. Like, I'll scroll through some recent episodes or listen to the most recent episode and kind of see, like, what the show is, and then I'll go, depending on how much I like it, I'll go through like the backlog and like either listen to all of it or like look through and be like, oh, I've heard of this, I want to hear more. Like, oh, I've never heard of this, what the fuck is this? And like kind of like pick and choose the episodes that I would listen to.
Currently, I'm very pick and choosy. Like, very rarely do I like just listen to a whole thing through. I just like, Tikbalang. I'm gonna hit that real quick.
It's tough at work to sometimes listen because I get so like, I have to like stop and like refocus on something or like have a conversation or respond to an email or whatever it is that it just makes it
difficult to stay along.
Difficult to stay, and then it's like, okay, where was I when I finally come back to it 15 minutes later, 20 minutes later, an hour later, whatever it is.
They become background noise for me.
Yeah, I mean, it was for a while, but when I'm interested in the subject, I don't want it to, you know what I mean? Like, I want to leave it where I left off, and then I can like back up 5 minutes and be like, okay, yeah, this is where I'm at, but it just, and compiles, and it's just,
I don't know where I'm at. Yeah, rough, but it's cool to hear people have listened to the whole thing.
Yeah, and I mean, how did you let us know how you found the show or how you listened to it, if you remember? I don't know.
Our SEO is pretty good by putting cryptids in the name. So anybody that Googles cryptids podcast,
eventually
we'll in the top.
Yeah,
I think we're the front page.
That's why when we had
Might
a different
not be
name
a good name, but it's a good SEO name.
Exactly. That when we had a name forever ago, it was terrible for SEO purposes.
And nobody could ever find it.
Exactly. It was terrible, so it didn't matter. But when we changed the way that we were doing the show, we changed the show altogether. When we rebranded, I was like, okay, well, this makes I did a lot of thinking in the way that we did this.
Here we are, with our best month ever.
Huzzah!
And January not being
crunch ice.
Not being far behind, even though we literally did nothing.
Yeah, it was great.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate that shit. We do have to do 1v1s, Jacob. Our results from episode 1 and 2.
Okay.
Before we do that, Tikbalang or the Black-Eyed Children. I think this is a pretty easy one, yeah.
100%.
Wait.
Well,
What if they say, can we go home? Hold on. What if they say, then does he just like, all right,
or could they?
Macho Man, Randy
Could
Horse?
they just like? Can they just like tame the Tikbalang and then use it to jump to different planets or what?
Perhaps. I don't know what these kids
you can't
know.
say that they don't do that, Connor.
Are they
so-
Men in Black in training? Then maybe.
Are they aliens? Are they extraterrestrials? Then maybe.
Ah, fuck. Shoot. What do you think? Who wins? Chat?
I changed my mind. I go Black Eyed Children.
Are we allowing 2 black-eyed children versus a Tikbalang?
Oh fuck! I think you have to because by definition
Against Yeti, I don't think it
said
mattered,
Children. What? Hang on. In the poll, what did you say last week? Well, how did you word it last week? Because that's how I'm gonna take this. Holding for confirmation.
Hold, please hold. We've got the black-eyed children, multiple. Yeti versus black-eyed children. 2v1. Coster says Tikbalang.
Thank you.
The Tikbalang is so macho. I gotta go with the Tikbalang.
That makes sense. That adds up.
Even in a fist fight, it's winning. Can we come in and then he bops him?
You're probably not wrong, but I'm gonna go Black Eyed Children
Yeah,
on
that's
this
fair.
one. I don't know. I have some very intense like Batman cartoon, Batman Beyond fight scene playing out in my head with the Black Eyed Children. So I don't know.
All right, you let us know what you think on social media. Post those polls in Twitter and Instagram. As some of you may know, Facebook is kind of in limbo, if you will. It may be reincarnated as a demon spawn at some point, but
Presently not.
right now, no such thing. So, yeah, check out those 2 things. Maybe we can incorporate something into the Discord, because we do have a lot of people in there. It would be nice to
Just throw votes on there, yeah.
suck those suckers into doing polls.
Yeah.
I think most of them do it on one or the other or both.
Or all of them. Yes.
Thank you if you've
Legends, what's up, everybody in
participated in
Discord?
the past.
Yeah, so you got poll results from the previous 2 episodes, which was Black Eyed Children and Yeti?
I do. But I have to calculate them first.
Okay.
All right.
Assuming the audio now works again.
Hopefully it works. The bars are going up and down, Jacob. We had 11 people vote on Twitter
Okay.
over the 1 week that it was live. And the Yeti came out on top.
Yeah, makes sense.
8-3. 72.7 to 27.3.
That makes sense.
And on
Instagram killing it once again.
34.
Thank you everybody for voting.
28 for Yeti. 6 for Black Eyed Children.
So overall, it's like 45.
80-20. Yeah, 45
Right.
total.
The Yeti is victorious. I think that makes sense. I feel like we
It's the same
probably forgot to talk about that after
I think
that
we did
episode.
too. Who knows?
Um,
We talked for 3.5 hours or some
Yeah,
shit.
the last
chill
2
out.
were real long, so this one's a softball. Sorry.
Hey, we're gonna almost get an hour. All right, bud.
With 18 minutes of intro music.
That could be done.
Could be arranged. I think that's everything that I have in my notes and everything we have to talk about this time, isn't it? I
think we got it all in.
Social media, let us know
Okay.
what you think.
I'm gonna throw this in real quick because I saw it on some places, but I don't get why it's tied to the Tikbalang.
Okay.
So a lot of people saw a lot of sites mention the Luksong Tinik, meaning jumping over thorns, is a game in the Philippines that kids play. There's 2 teams of equal numbers, and then each team decides on a leader or the mother or nane. The rest of the players
Nani.
are called anak or children. Sorry about my pronunciation. The people that are chosen to be the mother or the leader are usually the
Nani?
people that can jump the highest.
Okay.
It involves players sitting on the ground and other players jumping over parts of their body. Is this leapfrog? Are they describing leapfrog?
Sort of, but they said laying down, not like crouching. So I imagine it's just like at different parts. So I guess like you kind of like lay out like flat or like hold your limbs out, maybe, and then you'd like.
Is it like stabbing your hand with finger, but
Oh,
people
yeah,
jumping
but-
with your
Sure.
limbs out?
Sure.
Your arm gets broken because Jimmy can't fucking jump.
But they take the one who can jump the highest, and they're like, no.
Or do they line them up and it's like extreme sports where they 8 kids lay down and the one kid has to jump across 8 kids?
See how many they can
Yeah.
get across. Trying to set
Come
a
on.
world record out here.
Come on, Bobby. You did 9 last week. I have no idea what that game is, but apparently it's popular in the Philippines and often tied to the Tikbalang for some reason. I don't get it. Please
I
somebody
didn't see that
clue
anywhere.
me
That's
in.
strange. Again, if you know anything more about that we missed, please
Or you want to
add us. At me.
tell us we're stupid. That is also accepted because that's probable.
I had mentioned this to you briefly before. I want to do like a
Cooking
call-in episode. Oh, I do want to do a cooking show. Don't you get me wrong for one fucking second. But we've talked about this, cooking with cryptids.
Yeah, I'm in.
I'm gonna dress in a
Speaking of,
Bigfoot costume or
Jacob
a different.
made muffins.
Oh, I did make banana muffins. Well,
Banana-
my wife helped. My wife and I
Chocolate
made banana
chips.
muffins.
They're fucking delicious.
But yeah, I just dress up in different cryptid costumes every episode. Hilarious.
Okay.
Anyway, I totally forgot where I was at. Fuck.
I'm sorry. I have an idea. You want to do something. I don't know what it is.
Fuck. I don't either anymore. Fuck.
Live on YouTube.
Jacob struggles to remember what he was just thinking. Well, that's unfortunate. Oh no! I want to do like a call-in show.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So like, if people like have weird sightings or just like general like weird experiences or anything like that,
Like a coast to coast
ghost
type
stories,
deal.
anything, just like if you listen to the show and you're like, hey, this weird thing happened to me one time.
We've got some stuff in the
Yeah. So, Brandy's fucking got me over here. Thank you, Brandy.
yeah. We've had some stories sent in on Discord and other places, honestly.
I think it's been a while since we've had like some like submissions like that, but like I think we have enough of a reach at this point. We could maybe milk a whole episode out of it.
Yeah, so get your fucking stories
or
ready.
I mean, even if it took like a while to compile all of it, but you can. There's a couple ways that you could submit it, but like I mean, if you don't want to, like you could submit it via text, not like text message, but in text, and like we can read it out. Or if you want to, I think there might be a way to do it in Discord to just record the audio through
Leave,
there.
like, a
We'll
voicemail type thing.
We can figure something out. Maybe even just through Skype or something else too. I don't know.
Just let me know if you're gonna send me one. We'll figure it out.
Well, there are plenty of ways that it
you
can
want
be
to send
done.
me audio? We'll
Yeah.
figure it out. Skype me. I don't
I'm
give
just
a
gonna
shit.
give
I'll
you
sit
Connor's
here.
phone number.
Yeah, call me.
Yeah, call me. There you go. Yeah, 555-555-5555.
That's me.
So that's it. I don't know. I got nothing left. Sorry. Episode ending is always awkward when it
Yeah.
ends this way. But I believe the expression is it be like that sometimes, Connor.
Go get some merch.
Oh my fucking god! You had an audio bit queued up for this episode that you never once used.
I'm sorry, but somebody said that they missed us doing what we thought that like the cryptids would sound like.
No, I think
that used to be a thing.
I don't think anybody said they missed that. I think they like sarcastically were like, "Yep,
I
definitely missed
remember that. Was it sarcastic?
I think I took it as it was sarcastic, like that was fucking awful. You broke my ears every single time.
You're welcome. Break your ears again. Yeah. Welcome.